Ungrateful fiance demands man to pay for her 8 friends' dinner, but it backfired on her. This is a video from the wall. Subscribe if you like the video, dislike if you don't like it, and let's get to it.
If you need therapy, which you do, we all do, okay, let's just get that out of the way. I have a hack for you that is going to change your life, and in my opinion, has at times been even more healing to me than therapy is. It's easy, it's accessible, it's fucking free. Okay, open up your phone's front camera, set it up, prop it up on something, and just start fucking talking to yourself. You are going to feel crazy at first. There's a learning curve to this, okay? Just know that if you feel crazy, that's normal. It's okay. But something about looking yourself in the eyes and talking through your problems or your insecurities or even like the ways that you're mean to yourself or self-sabotaging, you have this new level of compassion for yourself. It has been so healing to me and has been the source of some of my greatest breakthroughs. So 10 out of 10 I recommend.
Yeah, therapy is a bit of a touchy subject for a lot of people. And whilst I can agree that therapy is not always the answer, especially for men, you know, just talking out to yourself in the mirror when you're driving or at your phone screen like she said, it's definitely not a bad idea. Guys, how many times you've been driving and you just venting your problems to yourself? You just be shouting in the car by yourself, and you get some satisfaction from that. Well, at least I do.
One of the best pieces of advice I've ever read about relationships is this. A man calling you baby means nothing. A man moving into your house means nothing. A man calling you his girlfriend means nothing.
What?
A man marrying you means nothing. Do you know what means something? A man changing his ways to keep you. That's what means something.
Bloody hell, if you proposing, getting married, calling her your girlfriend and all the nice things and doing nice things, if that doesn't mean anything, then what does? Again, I'm coming in with the classic, who hurt her, man? Someone hurt her, she ain't over it, she runs TikTok with the phone. Shout out to your ex who made you think this way.
Hello, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you here. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut If I Break Up With My Fiancé After She Showed a Startling Change of Behavior After Getting Engaged? I, male 32, just recently proposed to my girlfriend of 2 years, Sharon, female 30, like a month and a half ago. And it feels like the second the ring got on her finger, her attitude and behavior took a total 180. The entire time we were dating, we seemed exceptionally compatible. At least it seemed we shared common beliefs and morals. 7 weeks ago, I proposed and she said yes, and I felt like it was the happiest moment for the two of us. But not even a week later, it's like her attitude totally flipped. I thought I knew all of her friends, but one day I came home and there were 6 women I've never seen before, and Sharon introduced me to them. I was curious as to why I was just now meeting them when I already met Sharon's 2 best friends, Michelle and Octavia, both not present. Over a year and a half ago, Sharon said she wanted to make sure that we were a sure thing before I met her inner circle. When getting engaged means you're a sure thing. I found this strange, not to mention it was a weeknight, and they were quickly draining my wine rack. Sharon still had her own place, but she stayed with me so often she practically lives here. Still, I found it incredibly rude when they left with 4 empty bottles of rosé in their wake. I tried to talk to Sharon about having uninvited guests on weeknights, and she dismissed my grievance very flippantly. More, that she brushed me off. The following week, she went out with the girls several times, and when she brought the girls to my place, twice without notice, once with notice to appease me, her words, they all treated me like a butler, shaking their empty wine glasses at me for refills. I mean, time out, because look, if you brought the girlies home and I was available, I'd butler for you because I love you and that's what I would want to do. But if some bitch starts shaking an empty wine glass at me, get out! Out! No, leave the glass. Put the bottle down, put the glass down, and get the f*** out.
Yeah, boys, major red flags going on here. It's not a good start. They've just got engaged. Just when you thought everything was going right, this happens. Man, can you imagine that? Your girl bringing back a group of friends when you've just got engaged on a weekday and they're there shaking their wine glass at you like, come on, mate, get me a drink, come on. Chop, chop. They literally turned this guy's gaff into a party house and they left the place a complete mess. I think we all understand what's going on here and what's coming. I mean, Sharon thinks that because they're engaged, they can turn his house into a nightclub with her friends. But let's carry on with the story, man. There's just too many red flags here.
After the 4th time, I made it clear that I will get a locked wine rack. Sharon just called me no fun after that. It gets worse. Sharon decided that me and the girls got off on the wrong foot and said that we should have dinner together at a nice restaurant.
Oh, no.
You know that means that she wants you to buy them all a very fancy dinner, right? Well, I went and it was not great. The 6 kept prodding me about my life, my house, my career, but they deflected every question that I asked. It got especially bad at night when they started talking about modern relationships and jealousy. And one of them brought up some key points about relationships that I thought Sharon and I were on the same page about, specifically what ifs regarding polygamy and being friends with exes. To my shock, Sharon said that we shouldn't be too hasty on such decisions, which was a total 180 to how she expressed herself on these things only a month prior, where she was vehemently against keeping ex-intimate partners in friend circles and was staunchly monogamous. The worst part was when the bill arrived, Sharon announced it should be together and slid me the check. I told her she can't be serious, and we got into a bit of an argument. I ended it by putting my amount down in cash and walked out, leaving them to figure out the rest of the bill. The next days after that, Sharon kept calling me toxic and fragile, but every time I pushed at it, she would give me an apology and promise that she was just stressed at work. It's nuts. We haven't even planned the wedding yet. The worst part was this Monday when at work I got a Nest doorbell alert, checked and saw Sharon and one of her 6 new friends arriving at my place, going in and exiting with my golf clubs. This set was a gift from my father and it cost a pretty penny too. So Sharon lending it out with my permission got me pissed. I immediately called Sharon and told her and her friend to return the clubs. Sharon tried to gaslight me with, "But you promised to lend the clubs to her boyfriend, remember?" I told her the club's cost would move it into a serious crime, and her friend had an hour to return them or the cops would be called. Sharon kept insisting she got my permission, and I told her to cut the crap. Well, not 45 minutes later, I got another notification of Sharon and her friend coming back with the clubs and going inside, leaving them. Sharon's friend flipping off the Nest doorbell on the way out. I got home and saw Sharon's friend literally just threw the clubs and bag on the living room floor. Sharon tried to talk to me about my toxicity again, and I told her again to cut the crap. I said if I knew this is how she was, I never would have proposed. That seemed to freak her out, and she again insisted that she was just stressed at work, but I wasn't buying it anymore. I told her to return the ring and her key, and we would talk about our relationship this weekend. She cried, and she begged me not to cancel the engagement and insisted that it was just stress. I told her again that we will talk about it this weekend. She finally relented. I had my house rekeyed anyways after she left just to be safe. Sharon has been texting me constant messages of love and apologies for getting swept up and insisting she was only wanting to show me off to her close friends. Is that what showing you off is like?
Showing you off by just using your house as a flipping come and go, like a cash converters, like just taking your stuff, taking your money, like, so it's like this guy's in a relationship with all her friends as well, and they can just come and go in this man's property even when he's not there and take his belongings. And if he doesn't do that, he's toxic, insecure. Man, I'm just glad this all happened before the wedding. I mean, it's pretty bad this all happened. She was definitely hiding this side of her. You know, she secured the ring, got the ring, and she thought, oh, everything's good, I can be myself now. This is why you got to be careful, fellas, because you never know. This guy did not see it coming. And I know he went for dinner, but after the first experience of them coming around the house and destroying the place, drinking his wine and just being assholes, why did he even bother going to the dinner? I would have called it a day there and then. But there's more to this story. Let's carry on.
Before we get into the top comment and some additional information here, the friends being like, I don't know, you must have done something to this up. Be like, hey, you, by the way, like you just did something to this up. With that assessment, asshole, it's got to be your fault, right? They wouldn't just be like this. Now, these friends were always like this. You didn't get introduced to them until after you put a ring on it. And then she somehow took that as, you're my bitch now, and treated you like her bitch in front of her friends because that's what they think is cool. And apparently to be man enough to be with her, you have to be her bitch and be willing to be treated like shit and let her friends do the same and just take shit from you. It's all good. That's being man enough for them. Cool. Top comment. Oh, no, dude. You need to end this relationship. She has been putting on a false front the whole time. She knows how toxic they are. She figured now that you had proposed, you couldn't leave. That's who she really is. The person you dated for 2 years, that's a false front to get the proposal. It's like abusers who never hurt their spouse until after they're married. They know that they need to hide it because they know it will drive the partner away. They wait till the commitment is deep enough. She showed her hand too fast and too early. Agree with that. Kick her ass to the curb immediately. Call her out on every gaslight. Every time she cries and says she's stressed or whatever, ask her why she lies 100% of the time in front of her friends then. If she's telling the truth, they can come over, and in front of her friends, she will for the whole evening disagree with them on polygamy, open relationships, your role, they need to be open, etc., etc. Tell her if she's just stressed, she must be willing now to call them and openly admit all of what she was saying with them was untrue, or this is who she is. She gave you a pleasant fiction when you were alone, and it was easy to hide. Now you see who she chooses to be, who she wants to be. Dump her. Move on. Date Michelle. Date Michelle? Where'd Michelle come from? Oh, one of the OG besties. Yeah. Who, NTA, brother. Am I the astronaut for, if you broke up with her after she did this 180, NT freaking A. What do people expect? Yeah. She got too comfy too quick.
Yeah.
Too comfy too quick. I'm going to go out on a limb here and also say Sharon has been married before. Sharon's divorced. But she treated her husband like this. This is what ended their marriage. And she was just looking for someone else to take up this role.
Yep.
Take up the same role. And it's not so much of finding the right person. It's finding the person who has the means that she's looking for and is willing to put up with the amount of shit that she wants to give. That's all it takes. You clearly are not that. Also, bravo for you. And I'm actually going to green flag you here, OP, because you actually didn't around. You put up boundaries immediately. You're like, hey, you return those freaking golf clubs or I'm calling the cops. That was a boundary. It had consequences attached and you were serious about it and they brought that shit back. It doesn't matter if she threw him. It doesn't matter if she flipped off the camera. That just shows you the kind of people she's friends with. The kind of people she chooses as her inner circle should tell you a lot about who she is. Yeah. I mean, if people change like this, don't stick around. Don't stick around. Don't do it. The problem is that he was 2 years deep into this before he found out who she really was.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a common thing too.
Bloody hell, this girl put him on a 2-year free trial. Yeah, this guy was completely right. She was just looking for a doormat. She's looking for a guy who she can dip their toe in the water and treat him like shit. And if he allows it, she's like, oh, this is the guy I want. I need a doormat who's going to be my wallet, my bank account, my security, and just let me do what I want when I want, and my friends as well. This woman, this Sharon woman, she is the walking definition of a red flag. Everything you wouldn't want in a relationship, she equates to that. And the unfortunate thing is she waited until the ring was on, like I said earlier. If she had showed this before, her personality or her friends, you know, there was a reason why she was hiding those friends, because she knew that they were toxic just like her. But he wasted 2 years building a life with this woman. I don't know how much he spent on the ring, but 2 years is a long time. I'm just glad he got out when he did, but shout out to Sharon. She belongs to the streets, man.
All right, we have an update.
All right.
Here's the update. 2. Am I the astronaut if I break up with my fiancée after she showed a startling change of behavior after getting engaged? Sharon's been gone now for an hour. Breakup is official. I have the ring back. I did talk to Michelle via Facebook, and Michelle said she and Octavia were cousins of Sharon, and Michelle also said that she knew the 6 and didn't care for them. Michelle didn't say much more than that. I did meet Sharon's parents, and they both seemed to like me, and the topic of Michelle and Octavia never came up around them. None of our finances were intermingled yet, but it was planned for later this month, which won't happen. Oh, she pulled this shit before you guys even... Okay. I invited 3 of our mutual friends, Casey, John, and Mike, to be here when Sharon got here. Sharon showed up and was surprised to see that we had company. I said they were here for both of our sakes. Sharon wanted to phone 3 of the 6 to come over to even things out, and I refused, and I used the club theft as a reason. Sharon sat on the couch very dramatically. Wait, hold up. How do you sit on the couch very dramatically? Like a teenager plopping down on the couch?
Having a tantrum.
And then asked if I really wanted to make this public. I outright asked why she changed so much after the engagement and why she hid the existence of the 6. Sharon then went in again about how she insulates her inner circle until a partner is vetted. I called BS. I met her parents. What's more inner circle than your parents? Sharon tried to deflect, but I wouldn't have it. I pointed out how for the last month, her friends dropping by cost me nearly $500 in wine, which she, by the way, made no attempt to reimburse. I also pointed out that her trying to make me pay for an 8-person dinner bill without asking me first. She again said that she wanted to show how great of a guy I was and how she clearly misjudged me and was disappointed in my attitude. I then asked about the clubs. She tried gaslighting with, "You totally said it was okay, remember?" And I kept saying, "Bullshit."
Hey, it's not going so bad now. We've got a happy ending to this story. He sent her to the streets and he got the ring back. That all I'm hearing is W's right now. And then on top of all that, she still didn't realise what she'd done wrong and how she was acting or how her friends were acting. She didn't reimburse him on any of the stuff that, you know, they went through with the wine and didn't apologise for anything. And then she said, "You're never going to get a girl better than me." She's still living in Delulu land.
I feel like, one, she played her crazy hand way too early. You don't have someone until you're married, and then you don't really have someone. Because if you're going to show up and be an asshole, then they obviously get the choice to leave you. And I don't understand women that act like men are beneath them and are there to serve them, because that's exactly how she acted. This woman needs to find new friends. She needs to find 6 new people to be her friends, because these people are bad influences.
Question for you.
Yes.
Is the 6, the 6 kind of seems like they're
At least got me.
they're like a hive mind. They're like it's just like a symbiotic relationship, right?
Yeah.
And so the goal is for one of them to land a guy that they can all take advantage of as a group.
Yep.
And they just kind of take turns snagging a guy. Maybe it takes 2 years to get him to the point where you can drain his wine cellar and get him to pay for an expensive meal for everybody, but everybody kind of takes their turn getting there. Is that what this is?
I don't know, because I would never treat someone like this. Not in any way, shape, or form. I would never treat another human being like this, because it's degrading, it's disgusting, and who wants to, like, you want a relationship with a partner, and he thought he had found that, but really it was false. Everything that she did was to get what she wanted, and that was who we saw in this story. And this literally happens, because we've witnessed it firsthand. It was wild, and it's still wild. And it's honestly very, like, it's shocking, it's confusing. People actually do this, and I think that narcissists in general, like, I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but they have no trouble acting like what they think that person wants, and then when they feel secure in that relationship, to flip that switch and become who they really are and expect someone to take it.
Which is terrible.
Yeah.
Who would choose to be this way, though? That's where I'm confused. Like, if this is who she really is, that's one thing. Also,
I don't know. I told the girls last night that popularity in high school means nothing after you graduate.
It's worth nothing.
It means abso-fucking-lutely nothing. And if you still think that your popularity in high school means something, I'm sorry. Grow up. Because it's done. Like, it's over. You get your diploma, you're done.
Just ask Uncle Rico.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting story, guys. But like I said earlier, at least we got a happy ending, eh? Looking at some of these comments, that's not a group of girlfriends, that's a coven. Yeah. To pay for 8 other friends means that this girl doesn't care about you. Well, we got that indicator pretty quick. No real man would never put up with women like this. Nah. And to be fair to the guy, you know, he stood his ground. He stood his ground and he sent her to where she belongs, man. Dude was lucky to get the engagement ring back. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, because I've seen this many times when these crazy girls, man, when the guy asks can I have the ring back, and they do some stuff like throw it out the window or flush it down the toilet or do something stupid like that. At least he got his money back. Or he could save the ring for a girl who actually appreciates him and his property. He didn't just dodge a bullet, he dodged misery. 100%. Single women keep other women single. This is so true. When other women are miserable, or when other people are miserable and they got a shit life, they want to drag other people down with them. They really do. And those friends, yeah, I guarantee they've all got guys on their roster who they're using and just treating like garbage. And they're all equally as bad as each other. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Do let me know your thoughts on this story in the comments. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one.